Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review, we're going to be looking at the Mechanic Studios. This is their Mirror Leopard figure. So with this video, we're going to have a look at him in all of his modes. We're going to do quite a few comparisons and some display ideas with some other figures in the same toy line, and of course some of the other legend scale figures out there as well. Before we get started, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, and also to thank Show Z, because that's where I purchased this from, and as you can see they got it to me quickly and safely. So this is a very interesting figure, and to be honest, I've just this second took him out of the packaging, and already I think this is going to be my favorite version. So for those of you who are unaware, this is the original owner of the mold. This is Mechanic Studios Sand Leopard, and again, for those of you who don't know about third-party figures like I didn't end up until a few months ago, this is a third-party company's version of a Generation 1 Sandstorm figure, but because it transforms, it is not licensed by Hasbro or Takara, so they can't use the proper names, and this is the original owner of their molds. You can see it's a much smaller version, and that's why it's known as a legend scale, but this is their own take on what would have been a shattered glass version of the figure, so that's why you can tell that they've called him Mirror Leopard instead of Sand Leopard. The box has got some great artwork on the front there, it looks lovely. And then on the back you can just about, if there wasn't a sticker there, you'd be able to see all the modes that he does transform into. Now he comes in this clamshell in a buggy mode, which is exactly how I've just took him out, but to be honest, there's a few things we need to do just to get him perfectly in the buggy mode. So we just need to, of course, sort out the toes. This is really clever. The helicopter blades are stored underneath, and I'm going to hide away the head because I don't like it sticking up there anyway. Now there's a couple of ways that you can do this. You can either just turn it around, as you'll probably see in some. This is the only problem with brand new figures. They are so stiff to move. I don't even think I can get that out. Let me just see if I can find one of my spudges just to lift this up. There we go. So in the actual pictures of these particular figures, when he is in this mode, it suggests that you just turn it round like so and have his head upside down. So I'll tell you what, for this particular video I will. In the others I didn't. I kept it the way around. Now I'm going to keep knocking these off by accident, but I'm going to put them in there anyway. Right, so that is your, I suppose, sand buggy, dune buggy mode. It's beautiful in this color scheme. This just is really popping. I'm hoping you can get from the light, even though the camera is just I say a mobile phone, you can see that this gunmetal grayish silvery color is really reflecting. We're going to see a lot more of that obviously in the helicopter mode. This colour scheme just works. I think the whole shattered glass concept is great. I know lots of other companies have done it before, but I think that whoever thought of this particular colour scheme for Sandstorm, it's just worked. The wheels are all on individual pins, so they roll backwards and forwards, no issues whatsoever. You've already seen that we've got the 4 blades for the helicopters tucked underneath. There is this small one here as well, which of course shouldn't really be used. You can if you want to. I do see some people who sometimes just lift that up, or indeed bring it all the way up. It's entirely up to yourself, but I would imagine it should be kept all the way down. So we've got some, that's that gunmetal grey there on the side, just reflecting. The turquoise on the inside of the wheels looks great. It's just, I know that this is probably one of the weakest mode out of the two. I don't think it's too bad, to be honest, but I know that a lot of people do think it is the weakest. The instructions, funnily enough, all they've done is just put the standard Sand Leopard ones in. That's why you've probably noticed I've been uploading transformation process videos, because A, there's only 2 in this, from helicopter to buggy, and then buggy to robot, and of course there's 6 different transformation processes, so I'm uploading them all. Right, there's not much more to say about the buggy. As I say, it is pretty much the weakest mode, but if you want an idea of how big it is, there is a Generation 1 Bumblebee. There is a Generation 1 Turbo Master, so he's even smaller than that. As I say, these are what's classed as legend scale figures, which are in between core and deluxe class figures. There is the Jurassic Park Jeep, about the same size, but not, as I say, same length, but not size. There's one of your standard deluxe figures, which it's nowhere near. And although these are dubbed mini masterpieces, they are exactly mini masterpieces because they're nowhere near as big as your official masterpieces. Couple of little quick things to show you before we move on to the next section. So he comes with a gun as well, like so. This can obviously be held in his hand with that port, and this can be attached to the side of the buggy if you wanted to, like so. and that will go there. This is the head, which I'm going to show you in a bit more detail when we get to the robot mode in the last section, but I think we need to move on. Let's have a look at him. I'm going to do the same order because I want to get to helicopter and I want to finish in robot, so we're going to have a look at him in his helicopter mode. So here we are with him in his helicopter mode. Just a quick reminder, as I said, the transformation processes are separately uploaded to keep the main length of the video down and to act as tutorials, because these really are very small and intricately and at the same time very clever transformation processes, so you can enjoy them if you want to, and they'll help you out when you've got your own version as well. This is beautiful. This is such a great version. This is where I suppose you can see there, see how the color just catches the light and it makes it look all reflective. You've got it there as well on all of the blades, on of course the rear propeller as well. It is great. As I say, I love the whole shattered glass concept and theme, and it's great that other companies I suppose are copying it as well. This is incredibly similar to the original Generation 1 version of this figure, so you can see how you've got the wheels tuck in at the front, tuck in at the back, and again the arms at the front as well. It's just a great, it is brilliant, honestly. It's like a scaled down version but with an abundance more detail and articulation. But like I say in all the videos, you know, this is nearly 40 years worth of difference in engineering, so it's great to see how far we've come. Let's have a look at the rest of the details on here. So there's a cobra head by the looks of it on the top of there, which I didn't realize there was, but I'm pretty sure that is. This is, again, there's nice turquoise. It's just painted on. There's no translucent plastic anywhere on this. You can, if you wanted to, again, you can take the gun, you can put it either side. You can have it that way around facing down, or you can have it this way around facing up or down. It doesn't really look good, to be fair. In all honesty, I think it's just better left off, to be honest. I don't think it can go anywhere else. I've had a quick look, and again, this is the third review of this particular figure I've done. I'm going to be doing all the four different colors, and this again is a great use of the mold. Let's have a look again for just a quick couple more size comparisons. They're all the same figures. I'll tell a lie, I found an animated prowl there. It's, as I say, you're getting a good idea now of the scale and of the size of it. It's nowhere near as big as a deluxe, but it's just slightly bigger. I've got no other core class ones in their alternate mode at the moment. But yeah, this is my, if I was going to be displaying it not in robot mode, I think this, the same as this particular version of it, the helicopter mode of this, really surprised me as well. So we're going to come back final time of the video and let's have a look at him in his robot mode and do the rest of the main comparisons. Right then, back for the final time with him in his robot mode, and I do actually think, now I've got him in his robot mode, that this is the best looking of the three that I've got to review so far. Again, I think the color scheme on it just really works. It really does pop. What I need to show you as well on this though is, again, just the crazy amounts of articulation. Now, if you've got small enough fingers or a spudger, you can turn his head left to right, make it look up and down, etc. It is on like a mushroom peg. You can change the head. I'm going to show you that in a second. So this is basically a shattered glass version of the toy head. This is probably going to make no sense, to be fair, but if I show you this, that is the original Toys figure, and of course this is the this is the one that we're looking at now, the Mechanic Studios version, which is based on the toy, but they also included a cartoon head. So that's of course how Sandstorm appeared in the Generation 1 cartoon. So what they've done with this, which is another great touch, if you wanted to, if you ever was in the Generation 1 cartoon or the Shattered Glass cartoon, that would be a cartoon head to be used for him. I'm loving the red eyes in it, but I'm just going to keep, I suppose, this toy head on them all. So there is articulation there. There is articulation in the arms. You can spin these at the bicep. You can flex at the bicep. The wrists don't swivel, but that's because they're attached via there. Now you can, if you wanted to as well, you can move the shoulder around inside. See, that's on a ball and socket, but it does also come off. This should stay pretty much fixed on there, but you can move it around. You can lift up the shoulder part there to get a further range of motion if you want. Shoulder pad, shoulder cover, don't know exactly what I would refer to it as. You can take them out to the side, get the full T there as well, and as I say, they will go as far back until they stop being or until they're restricted, until they just can't go around anymore. This does seem to be popping off a little more than the others. Let's see if I can push it in. I don't remember having that many problems with the other one. There is a waist swivel again. It's a little bit hindered but not too much. There's enough, you know, for it to be able to pose. I suppose, no, it's not an ab crunch, I would be fibbing. That is where the hips are bending over at your ball and sockets at the top of the thighs. There's a swivel, obviously, because it's on a ball and socket. You do have a knee bend, and then your ankles and toes are on ball and sockets, and so many different points of articulation that you can, I suppose, pose it however you wanted to. So we've seen the head, we've seen the gun. Now the 4 blades, to be honest, you can store all of these. You can store 1 of them, 2 of them, up to all 4 in the back of this via these cutouts there. But what they do, and what I like about them, is they sort of double up a bit like Springer's blades do in the Siege and the Wrecker's toy lineup. So what I mean by that is you can pop them in his hands and it looks like, you know, they can be used as blades or as swords. It works. I think it looks really good, to be honest. Or you could do pretty similar to what Optimus Prime with the blade on the side, like the Rise of the Beast version. So you've got that cutout where you've been putting the gun in the other modes, so you could put a blade on his arm like that as well. It's up to you. You could put 2 blades on each forearm, 2 blades in each hand, exactly like what I did in the video of the original one. And you can, of course, just put the gun in the hand as well. So highly articulate, highly poseable, just a great bit of fun, to be honest. Let's move this box out of the way. So I've got the standard version, so that is your standard snow leopard. Not snow leopard, sand leopard. This one should have been called snow leopard, but he wasn't. He was called the white python. So that was the box for him. Again, the video for him is up. There is one more to do, and that'll be coming up soon as well. That is the comic leopard. So that is the comic book color deco version of all of this, and then you'll get to see all 4 of them together in a line. But great figures. They look so good. They do look like completely different, I was going to say characters and figures, but you know, you can tell the color scheme on them is so vastly different that I think you can get away with buying, like I've got here, multiple copies of them, and just because they display so well. So as I was saying, it's in between a core class and a deluxe class figure. So this, I suppose, is the best way to prove it. There's a deluxe class figure, there's a core class figure. Let's do the same but on the opposite sides. So here is a core class figure, and then of course here is one of the smaller, but it's still a deluxe figure. So you can see they sort of scale in between them. But if you're buying legend scale figures, how does he square up with the other legend scale makers out there? So there's a New Age Optimus Prime. This is a Magic Square Trailbreaker. This is an Iron Factories Mirage or Sheen. And then these won't scale at all, but this is very closely related to it. This is Dr. Wu's Ultra Magnus, which is tiny. And a big thanks to the subscriber who let me know the main differences between Mechanic Studios and Dr. Wu, because I genuinely didn't know. Right, there we go. Let's do a last couple of quick comparisons again, just for people who you might not collect any of them. You might be like I originally was, and a Generation 1 only collector. So there is G1 Bumblebee. There is, of course, what this is all about. There's G1 Sandstorm. There is G1 Optimus Prime. So again, small compared to them. There you go, guys. Let me know what you think of this particular figure in the comments. Is it the best one out of the 3 so far, or do you think that the comic one is going to be better? Do you think that they're perhaps exactly the same as every other company, just shamelessly using the mold over and over again? If so, do you think it works? I think it does, and especially because the color scheme on this is so vastly different. I really like it. Let me know what you think of it in the comments, guys. Take care.